Hello and welcome to the Mindful Zone. Today we're embarking on a journey toward peace, clarity and well-being. A journey that invites us to explore how Buddhism, meditation and mindfulness can transform our lives. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel like life is rushing past us. We juggle work deadlines, personal responsibilities, relationships and countless distractions vying for our attention. Amid all this chaos, have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how am I really feeling right now? Or perhaps more importantly, why does my mind sometimes feel like my worst enemy? If you've ever felt overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, or even just the constant chatter of your thoughts, you're not alone. So many of us struggle with these challenges daily. But here's the good news. There are tools, ancient yet timeless, that can help us navigate this inner landscape. Tools rooted in Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness. These practices don't promise an escape from life's difficulties. Instead, they offer something far more profound, a way to meet life with greater awareness, acceptance, and compassion. Over the next 2 hours, we'll delve into these teachings together. We'll uncover practical ways to bring calm and clarity into your everyday existence. You don't need any prior experience to benefit from what we'll discuss today. Whether you're completely new to these ideas or looking to deepen your understanding, this video is designed to be accessible, supportive, and nourishing for your spirit. So, take a moment to settle in. If you're watching this after a long day, maybe grab a cup of tea or find a cozy spot where you can relax. Let go of whatever might be weighing on your mind for just a little while and allow yourself to fully engage with this experience. We'll begin by exploring the nature of the mind itself, the source of so much of our suffering, but also our greatest potential for transformation. From there, we'll move into Buddhist philosophy, which offers powerful insights into why we suffer and how we can free ourselves from unnecessary pain. Then we'll dive into meditation techniques, simple yet transformative practices that anyone can incorporate into their daily routine. Finally, we'll discuss mindfulness, showing you how to bring presence and intentionality to even the most mundane moments of your day. Throughout this video, I encourage you to pause whenever you need to reflect or simply breathe. This isn't about rushing through information, it's about creating space for growth and understanding. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's okay if your mind wanders during meditation or if you find some concepts challenging at first. The key is to approach everything with curiosity and kindness, not only toward others, but especially toward yourself. As we move forward, I want you to think of this as less of a lecture and more of a conversation, a shared exploration of ideas that have helped countless people around the world live with greater peace and purpose. By the end of this session, my hope is that you'll walk away not only with practical tools, but also with a renewed sense of possibility. A reminder that no matter how turbulent life may seem, there's always a place within you that remains still, steady, and whole. So, let's take one final breath together before we begin. Inhale deeply, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Feel yourself grounded in this present moment. Ready? Let's start. Chapter 1: The Nature of the Mind. Our minds are fascinating, complex, and often chaotic places. They're capable of incredible creativity, deep reflection, and profound insight, but they can also be the source of immense suffering. Have you ever stopped to consider just how much your mind influences your experience of life? Every thought, emotion, and perception passes through this invisible lens we call consciousness, shaping how you see yourself, others, and the world around you. Understanding the nature of the mind is the first step toward reclaiming your peace and finding clarity in an otherwise overwhelming existence. At its core, the mind is a storyteller. It narrates our lives moment by moment, constructing narratives about who we are, what we want, and what we fear. Sometimes these stories are helpful. They guide us, motivate us, and protect us from harm. But other times they distort reality, trapping us in cycles of worry, regret, or self-doubt. Think about it. How often do you find yourself replaying conversations in your head, imagining worst-case scenarios, or dwelling on mistakes you made days, weeks, or even years ago? These mental loops aren't just unproductive, they can be exhausting. Yet many of us live most of our lives caught up in them without realizing it. Buddhism offers a unique perspective on the mind, one that invites us to observe it rather than being ruled by it. According to Buddhist teachings, the root of much of our suffering lies in attachment to certain outcomes, identities, or beliefs. When things don't go as planned, when life doesn't align with our expectations, we experience frustration, anger, or sadness. This isn't because external circumstances are inherently bad, it's because we've tied our happiness to something outside ourselves. The mind becomes fixated on what it wants, creating tension between reality and desire. By learning to recognize this pattern, we can begin to loosen its grip over us. One of the key concepts in Buddhism is the idea of impermanence. Everything changes, all the time. Relationships evolve, seasons shift, emotions rise and fall. Nothing stays the same forever, no matter how hard we try to hold on to it. Our minds, however, resist this truth. They crave stability and certainty, clinging to ideas of permanence even though none exists. This resistance is at the heart of so much of our dissatisfaction. When we fight against change, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. On the other hand, when we embrace impermanence, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of freedom. Life becomes less about controlling outcomes and more about flowing with whatever arises. Another important aspect of the mind is its tendency to judge. From the moment we wake up until we fall asleep, our minds are constantly evaluating everything we encounter. Is this good or bad, safe or dangerous, worth pursuing or avoiding? While judgment can serve a useful purpose, it helps us make decisions and navigate the world, it often leads to unnecessary suffering. For example, labeling someone as difficult or an experience as disappointing colors how we perceive them, closing us off to alternative perspectives. Judgment narrows our view, making it harder to see the full picture. By cultivating awareness of this habit, we can learn to step back from automatic judgments and approach life with greater curiosity and openness. The mind is also incredibly restless. Even when there's nothing urgent demanding our attention, it rarely rests. Instead, it jumps from one thought to another like a monkey swinging through trees. One moment you might be thinking about lunch, the next about a conversation you had last week, and then suddenly you're worrying about tomorrow's meeting. This constant movement keeps us disconnected from the present moment, the only place where true peace resides. Meditation teaches us to notice this restlessness without getting swept away by it. Rather than trying to stop our thoughts, which is nearly impossible, we learn to observe them with detachment. Over time, this practice creates space between us and our thoughts, allowing us to respond to situations with greater clarity and intentionality. It's worth noting that the mind isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's a remarkable tool when used wisely. The problem arises when we identify too closely with our thoughts, mistaking them for absolute truths. Just because your mind says something doesn't mean it's accurate or beneficial. For instance, have you ever had the thought, "I'm not good enough"? Most of us have at some point, but if you pause and examine that thought objectively, does it really hold up? Is it based on evidence, or is it simply a story your mind has constructed out of fear or insecurity? Learning to question your thoughts, not blindly accepting them, is a powerful way to reclaim control over your inner world. Mindfulness practices encourage us to develop this skill of observation. Instead of reacting impulsively to every thought or emotion, we learn to pause and ask ourselves, is this thought serving me right now? If it's not, we can choose to let it go, redirecting our focus to something more constructive. This simple act of noticing and choosing transforms the relationship we have with our minds. We move from being passive participants in our own mental dramas to active observers, capable of guiding our attention where it matters most. Another fascinating aspect of the mind is its ability to adapt. Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain is highly plastic, meaning it can rewire itself based on repeated experiences. This is known as neuroplasticity. What does this mean for us? It means that every time we engage in mindful awareness or compassionate action, we're literally reshaping our brains. Over time, these small shifts accumulate, leading to profound changes in how we think, feel, and behave. Meditation and mindfulness aren't quick fixes, they require consistent effort, but their effects are lasting. With dedication, you can train your mind to default to states of calm, kindness, and presence rather than stress, judgment, or distraction. Of course, understanding the nature of the mind intellectually is one thing, experiencing it firsthand is another. That's why practice is essential. No amount of reading or listening will replace the transformative power of sitting quietly with your thoughts, watching them come and go like clouds drifting across the sky. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. You might notice how scattered or critical your mind can be, and that realization can be humbling, but stick with it. Beneath all the noise lies a quiet stillness, a part of you that remains untouched by the chaos. Connecting with this stillness is where true peace begins. As we continue exploring these themes throughout this video, keep in mind that the goal isn't to eliminate thoughts or emotions entirely. That would be both unrealistic and undesirable. Thoughts and emotions are natural parts of being human. The aim is to relate to them differently, to meet them with curiosity rather than resistance, compassion rather than judgment. By doing so, we free ourselves from their grip, creating space for joy, connection, and fulfillment to emerge naturally. Understanding the nature of the mind is the foundation upon which all other practices rest. Without this awareness, meditation and mindfulness can feel like empty exercises, but with it they become tools for liberation. So take your time with this chapter. Reflect on what resonates with you and what challenges you. Ask yourself, what stories am I telling myself? How do I react to change? Where does my mind tend to wander? These questions may not have immediate answers, but simply asking them plants seeds of insight that will grow over time. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into Buddhist philosophy, exploring timeless wisdom that sheds light on the causes of suffering and the path to freedom. Until then, remember this: your mind doesn't have to be your enemy. With patience and practice, it can become your ally. Chapter 2. What is Buddhism? A path to peace. Buddhism is one of humanity's oldest and most profound spiritual traditions. It offers a path not just to understanding the nature of existence, but also to finding peace within ourselves and the world around us. At its heart, Buddhism isn't about dogma or rigid rules. It's about asking deep questions and seeking answers through personal experience. The teachings of Buddhism provide a framework for understanding why we suffer and how we can transcend that suffering. Today we'll explore some of the core principles of Buddhism, including the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and the concept of interconnectedness. These ideas are not abstract philosophies meant only for monks or scholars. They're practical tools anyone can use to live a more meaningful and peaceful life. Let's begin with the Four Noble Truths, which form the foundation of Buddhist philosophy. The first noble truth states that life involves suffering, what Buddhists call dukkha. This doesn't mean life is inherently bad or miserable, but rather that suffering is an unavoidable part of the human condition. Whether it's physical pain, emotional loss, or the subtle dissatisfaction of wanting things to be different than they are, dukkha touches every aspect of our lives. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward transformation, because denial only deepens our pain. Once we acknowledge that suffering exists, we can start to understand its causes and work toward alleviating it. The second noble truth identifies the root cause of suffering as craving or attachment, tanha in Pali. Craving manifests in many forms: desire for pleasure, aversion to discomfort, clinging to identities, or yearning for permanence in an impermanent world. When we attach ourselves to specific outcomes or objects, We set ourselves up for disappointment because nothing lasts forever. Think about it. How often do you feel anxious or frustrated when reality doesn't align with your expectations? This tension between what is and what we want creates much of the stress we experience daily. By learning to let go of attachment, not rejecting life but embracing it without clinging, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. The third noble truth offers hope. There is a way to end suffering. This state of liberation is called nirvana, which literally means extinguishing the flames of craving and ignorance. Nirvana isn't a place you go after death. It's a state of mind characterized by freedom, clarity, and peace. Achieving nirvana requires letting go of ego-driven desires and seeing reality as it truly is, beyond the illusions created by our minds. While complete enlightenment may seem like a lofty goal, even small steps toward reducing attachment and cultivating awareness bring immense benefits. Each moment of mindfulness chips away at the layers of conditioning that keep us trapped in cycles of suffering. The fourth noble truth outlines the path to ending suffering, the Eightfold Path. This path consists of 8 interconnected practices that guide ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. Let's take a closer look at each component. Right understanding. This means seeing things clearly without distortion. It involves recognizing the truths of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. The idea that there is no fixed, independent self separate from the rest of existence. Right understanding lays the groundwork for all other aspects of the path. Right intention. Our intentions shape our actions. Right intention encourages us to cultivate thoughts of renunciation, letting go, goodwill, loving-kindness, and harmlessness, compassion. When our motivations align with these values, our behavior naturally reflects them. Right speech. Words have power. They can heal or harm, uplift or tear down. Right speech asks us to speak truthfully, kindly, and constructively, avoiding gossip, harsh language, and idle chatter. Practicing mindful communication strengthens relationships and fosters trust. Right action. This refers to behaving ethically and responsibly. It includes refraining from harming others, stealing, or engaging in dishonesty. Right action promotes harmony and respect, both within ourselves and in our interactions with the world. Right livelihood. How we earn a living matters also. Right livelihood encourages us to choose professions that contribute positively to society and avoid those that cause harm. Aligning our work with our values brings a sense of purpose and integrity. Right effort. Life requires effort, but the quality of that effort makes all the difference. Right effort involves cultivating wholesome qualities like generosity, patience, and gratitude, while abandoning unwholesome ones like greed, hatred, and delusion. It's about directing our energy wisely. Right mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present, aware of what's happening inside and outside us without judgment. Right mindfulness helps us break free from automatic habits and respond to life with greater clarity and compassion. Right concentration. This refers to developing focused attention through meditation. Right concentration allows us to quiet the mind, access deeper states of consciousness, and gain insight into the true nature of reality. Together, these 8 practices create a comprehensive roadmap for personal growth and societal well-being. They remind us that spiritual progress isn't about achieving perfection, but about making consistent, incremental improvements. Every step along the path contributes to greater peace and understanding. Another central teaching in Buddhism is the principle of interconnectedness. Everything in the universe is interdependent. Nothing exists in isolation. Your happiness affects others, just as their actions influence you. This web of connection extends beyond people to include animals, plants, and even the planet itself. Recognizing this interconnectedness inspires compassion and responsibility. It reminds us that our choices matter, not just for ourselves, but for the entire ecosystem of life. Buddhism also emphasizes the importance of balance. Many of us swing between extremes, indulging in pleasures or punishing ourselves with austerity, striving relentlessly or giving up entirely. The middle way, as taught by the Buddha, advocates for moderation, a balanced approach to life that avoids excesses in either direction. This principle applies to everything from diet and exercise to work and relationships. Finding equilibrium allows us to navigate challenges with resilience and grace. One of the most beautiful aspects of Buddhism is its inclusivity. It welcomes people from all walks of life, regardless of background, belief system, or level of experience. There's no need to convert or adopt new rituals unless you choose to. What matters is your willingness to engage with the teachings sincerely and apply them in your own unique way. In fact, modern interpretations of Buddhism often blend traditional wisdom with contemporary insights, making it accessible to people living in today's complex world. While Buddhism has roots in ancient India, its relevance spans cultures and centuries. Its emphasis on self-awareness, compassion, and ethical living resonates deeply with many people seeking alternatives to materialism and consumerism. Rather than chasing external success, Buddhism invites us to look inward, to discover the richness of a simple, mindful life. This shift in perspective can be profoundly liberating, especially in societies that prioritize achievement over contentment. As we reflect on these teachings, it's important to remember that Buddhism isn't about blind faith. It encourages questioning, investigation, and direct experience. The Buddha himself urged his followers not to accept his words uncritically, but to test them in their own lives. This spirit of inquiry empowers us to take ownership of our spiritual journeys, trusting our inner wisdom to guide us. Incorporating Buddhist principles into daily life doesn't require drastic changes. Start small. Notice when you're caught in patterns of craving or aversion, and gently redirect your attention to the present moment. Practice kindness toward yourself and others, even in challenging situations. Cultivate gratitude for the simple joys that often go unnoticed. Over time, these seemingly minor efforts accumulate, leading to significant transformations. Understanding Buddhism provides context for the practices we'll explore later in this video, such as meditation and mindfulness. These techniques aren't standalone exercises, they're expressions of the deeper truths embedded in Buddhist philosophy. They offer practical ways to embody the wisdom of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, helping us move closer to peace and fulfillment. Before we move on to Chapter 3, take a moment to consider how these teachings resonate with you. Do any of the Four Noble Truths strike a chord? Can you identify areas in your life where attachment might be causing unnecessary suffering? Remember, the journey toward liberation begins with awareness, and awareness starts right here, right now. Chapter 3, Meditation Basics. Finding Stillness. Meditation is often misunderstood as something mystical or reserved for monks and spiritual seekers, but in reality, it's one of the most practical tools we have for cultivating mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall well-being. At its essence, meditation is simply the practice of training your attention. It's about learning to direct your focus intentionally rather than letting your mind drift aimlessly from thought to thought. And while it might sound simple, the benefits of consistent meditation are profound, ranging from reduced stress and improved focus to increased self-awareness and a greater sense of peace. In this chapter, we'll explore what meditation is, how to begin practicing it, and why it's such a powerful tool for transforming your relationship with yourself and the world around you. To start, let's address a common misconception. Meditation isn't about stopping your thoughts or achieving some blissful state where nothing bothers you. If you've ever tried meditating, you know that silencing your mind completely is nearly impossible, and certainly not the goal. Instead, meditation teaches us to observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. It's like sitting by a riverbank and watching the water flow past. You don't jump into the river, you stay grounded on the shore, noticing the movement without being swept away. This ability to step back from our thoughts creates space, a buffer between stimulus and response that allows us to navigate life with greater calm and intentionality. There are many forms of meditation, each with its own techniques and purposes. Some focus on cultivating concentration, others on developing compassion, and still others on fostering insight into the nature of reality. For beginners, mindfulness meditation is an excellent place to start because it's straightforward and adaptable to everyday life. Mindfulness meditation involves focusing your attention on a single point of reference, most commonly the breath, and returning to that anchor whenever your mind wanders. This process builds mental discipline over time, strengthening your capacity to stay present even amid distractions. So how do you actually begin meditating? The good news is that it requires very little equipment or preparation. All you need is a quiet space, a comfortable seat, and a willingness to show up. Start by finding a posture that works for you. Contrary to popular belief, you don't need to sit in the lotus position unless it feels natural. Sitting upright in a chair with your feet flat on the floor is perfectly fine. The key is to maintain a balance between relaxation and alertness. Your spine should be straight but not rigid, your shoulders relaxed and your hands resting gently in your lap. Once you're settled, close your eyes softly or lower your gaze to minimize visual distractions. Now bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils, the rise and fall of your chest, or the expansion and contraction of your abdomen. Don't try to control your breathing, just let it happen naturally. As you focus on your breath, you'll inevitably notice thoughts arising. Maybe you're planning dinner, replaying a conversation, or worrying about tomorrow. When this happens, and it will happen, acknowledge the thought without judgment and gently guide your attention back to your breath. Each time you return to the present moment, you're strengthening your attention muscle. Over weeks and months, this practice rewires your brain, making it easier to stay focused and less reactive. One of the challenges beginners often face is frustration when their minds wander frequently. It's important to remember that wandering is normal. It's what minds do. The act of noticing that your attention has drifted and bringing it back is the heart of meditation. Every time you do this, you're reinforcing the habit of presence. Think of it like lifting weights at the gym. Just as muscles grow stronger with repetition, your ability to concentrate improves with consistent effort. Be patient with yourself. Progress may feel slow at first, but the cumulative effects of regular practice are undeniable. Another valuable aspect of meditation is its impact on our emotional landscape. By observing our thoughts and feelings without immediately reacting to them, we create distance between ourselves and our impulses. For example, imagine you're feeling angry. Normally, anger might trigger a cascade of actions, raising your voice, lashing out, or stewing in resentment. But if you pause and observe the emotion instead of identifying with it, you gain a degree of choice. You can ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this reaction helpful? What would a wiser version of me do right now? This pause doesn't eliminate emotion, but it gives you space to respond skillfully rather than react impulsively. Meditation also helps us develop a deeper understanding of who we are. Through sustained practice, we begin to see patterns in our thinking and behavior that were previously hidden. Perhaps you notice recurring themes of self-criticism, fear, or attachment. These insights aren't always comfortable, but they're invaluable because they reveal areas where growth is possible. With awareness comes the opportunity to make conscious changes. For instance, if you realize you tend to judge yourself harshly, you can consciously cultivate kindness and self-compassion. Meditation becomes a mirror reflecting both the beauty and the shadows within us, so we can work toward wholeness. Beyond individual benefits, meditation fosters a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. Many practitioners describe experiencing moments of profound unity during deep states of meditation, feeling interconnected with all beings and the universe itself. While these experiences aren't necessary for progress, they remind us that we're part of a vast web of existence. This perspective shifts our priorities, encouraging us to live with greater empathy and responsibility. If you're wondering how long you should meditate, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference, especially when starting out. As you become more comfortable with the practice, you can gradually increase the duration to 10, 20, or 30 minutes. Consistency matters more than length. Meditating for a short period every day is far more effective than meditating for an hour once a week. Over time, you'll likely find that meditation becomes something you look forward to, a sanctuary amidst the busyness of life. It's also worth noting that meditation isn't limited to formal sitting practice. Informal meditation involves bringing mindful awareness to everyday activities. Whether you're eating, walking, washing dishes, or brushing your teeth, you can use these moments to anchor yourself in the present. Pay attention to the sensations, sights, sounds, and smells associated with the activity. Let go of multitasking and immerse yourself fully in the task at hand. This approach transforms mundane routines into opportunities for mindfulness, enriching your experience of life. For those interested in exploring different types of meditation, here are a few examples. Loving kindness meditation, metta, focuses on cultivating feelings of goodwill and compassion toward yourself and others. You silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy," and extend those wishes outward. Body scan. Meditation involves systematically directing your attention through different parts of your body, noticing sensations without judgment. This practice promotes relaxation and body awareness. Walking meditation combines movement with mindfulness. As you walk slowly and deliberately, pay attention to the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your steps, and the surrounding environment. Visualization. Meditation uses imagery to evoke specific qualities or outcomes. For example, you might visualize a peaceful scene or imagine sending light to someone in need. Mantra. Meditation involves repeating a word, phrase, or sound like Om to focus the mind and deepen concentration. Each type of meditation offers unique benefits, so feel free to experiment until you find what resonates most with you. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. The best practice is the one that keeps you coming back consistently. As we wrap up this chapter, I want to emphasize that meditation is a journey, not a destination. It's not about reaching some idealized state of enlightenment overnight. It's about showing up again and again with curiosity and openness. Some days will feel effortless, others may feel challenging. That's okay. What matters is your commitment to the process. In the next chapter, we'll delve into mindfulness in daily life, how to take the skills you've developed through meditation and apply them to real-world situations. Until then, remember this: meditation is a gift you give yourself. It's an investment in your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. So find a quiet corner, take a deep breath, and begin. Chapter 4. Mindfulness in daily life. Mindfulness is often described as the art of paying attention on purpose in the present moment and without judgment. While meditation provides a structured way to practice mindfulness, the true power of this skill lies in its application to everyday life. Bringing mindful awareness to your daily routines transforms ordinary moments into opportunities for presence, connection, and joy. In this chapter, we'll explore how mindfulness can enrich your life, why it's essential for managing stress and enhancing well-being, and practical ways to integrate it into even the busiest schedules. Let's start by addressing a common misconception. Mindfulness isn't about adding more tasks to your already packed day. It's not another item on your to-do list or something you need to get right. Instead, mindfulness is about shifting how you approach what you're already doing. It's about slowing down just enough to notice what's happening right now, whether that's savoring the aroma of your morning coffee, feeling the cool breeze against your skin, or listening intently to someone speaking. By fully engaging with the present moment, you break free from autopilot mode and reconnect with the richness of life. One of the simplest yet most impactful ways to practice mindfulness is through sensory awareness. Our senses are gateways to the present moment, offering immediate access to the here and now. Take eating, for example. How often do you rush through meals while scrolling through your phone or thinking about your next task? When was the last time you truly tasted your food? The subtle sweetness of fruit, the earthy crunch of vegetables, or the warmth of soup sliding down your throat? Next time you eat, try this experiment. Put away distractions, take small bites, and choose slowly. Notice the textures, flavors, and aromas. Allow yourself to appreciate the nourishment you're receiving. This simple act of mindful eating not only enhances your enjoyment, but also supports better digestion and healthier choices. Walking is another activity ripe for mindfulness. Whether you're commuting to work, strolling through a park, or pacing around your home, walking offers countless opportunities to anchor yourself in the present. Instead of letting your mind wander to worries or plans, focus on the physical sensations of walking. Feel the weight of your body shifting from one foot to the other. Notice the rhythm of your steps and the contact your feet make with the ground. If you're outside, pay attention to the sights and sounds around you, the rustling leaves, chirping birds, or distant hum of traffic. Walking mindfully turns a routine act into a moving meditation, grounding you in the simplicity of movement. Mindfulness doesn't stop at physical actions. It extends to interactions with others as well. Human connection is one of the most profound sources of fulfillment, yet many of us go through conversations distracted, half listening while formulating our responses. To cultivate mindful communication, begin by giving the person your full attention. Put aside your phone, make eye contact, and listen deeply, not just to their words, but to their tone, facial expressions, and body language. Resist the urge to interrupt or jump to conclusions. When it's your turn to speak, express yourself clearly and honestly, staying attuned to how your words land. Practicing mindful communication strengthens relationships, fostering trust and understanding. Another area where mindfulness shines is in managing emotions. We all experience difficult feelings: anger, sadness, frustration. Reacting impulsively often makes things worse. Mindfulness teaches us to pause before responding, creating space to choose wiser actions. For instance, imagine you receive an email that triggers irritation. Your instinct might be to fire back a heated reply, but if you pause and observe your emotional response, you give yourself the chance to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why does this situation bother me? What would a compassionate response look like? Over time, this habit of pausing builds emotional resilience, helping you navigate challenges with greater calm and clarity. Household chores, often viewed as tedious necessities, can also become acts of mindfulness. Washing dishes, folding laundry, or cleaning a room may seem mundane, but they offer perfect opportunities to practice being present. As you wash dishes, feel the warmth of the water on your hands, the smoothness of the plates, and the satisfaction of seeing them clean. While folding clothes, notice the texture of the fabric, the rhythm of your movements, and the order emerging from chaos. These tasks, approached mindfully, become meditative practices that bring a sense of accomplishment and peace. Technology, though indispensable in modern life, can easily pull us out of the present moment. Notifications, emails, and social media constantly vie for our attention, fragmenting our focus and increasing stress. Practicing digital mindfulness involves setting boundaries around technology use. Start by designating tech-free times during the day, for example during meals, first thing in the morning, or before bed. When using devices, ask yourself, is this enhancing my life or is it distracting me from what truly matters? Being intentional about screen time reduces overwhelm and creates space for meaningful experiences. Physical sensations are powerful anchors for mindfulness because they're always available no matter where you are. Whenever you feel scattered or overwhelmed, bring your attention to your body. Feel your feet planted firmly on the ground, the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe, or the gentle pressure of your hands resting in your lap. Grounding yourself in bodily sensations helps stabilize your mind especially during stressful situations. You can also incorporate short mindfulness exercises throughout the day. For example, take 3 deep breaths whenever you transition between tasks or step outside for a minute to feel the fresh air on your face. These micro practices accumulate, reinforcing your ability to stay present. Work environments, notorious for high stress and constant demands, are ideal settings for mindfulness. Instead of multitasking, focus on one task at a time. Give it your full attention, noticing when your mind starts to drift and gently bringing it back. Between meetings or deadlines, take brief breaks to stretch, breathe, or simply rest your eyes. Research shows that incorporating mindfulness into work routines boosts productivity, creativity, and job satisfaction while reducing burnout. By approaching your responsibilities with mindful awareness, you transform even the most challenging tasks into opportunities for growth and learning. Sleep, essential for physical and mental health, benefits greatly from mindfulness. Many people struggle with insomnia or restless nights due to racing thoughts or anxiety. A bedtime mindfulness practice can help calm the mind and prepare the body for rest. Try lying down comfortably, closing your eyes and focusing on your breath. Scan your body from head to toe, releasing tension as you go. If thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment and return to your breathing. Alternatively, visualize a peaceful scene, a serene beach, a quiet forest, or a starry sky. These techniques signal to your brain that it's time to wind down, promoting deeper, more restorative sleep. Gratitude is another cornerstone of mindfulness. When we consciously acknowledge the good in our lives, we shift our perspective from lack to abundance. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on what you're grateful for. It could be something big, like a supportive friend, or something small, like the warmth of sunlight streaming through a window. Writing these reflections in a journal amplifies their impact, creating a record of positivity you can revisit whenever you need encouragement. Practicing gratitude cultivates optimism, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for life's blessings. Mindfulness also extends to self-compassion, which is crucial for maintaining balance and well-being. We're often our own harshest critics, berating ourselves for mistakes or perceived shortcomings. Mindful self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a close friend. When you notice critical thoughts arising, pause and reframe them. Instead of saying, "I'm such a failure, try, I'm doing my best and that's enough." Placing a hand over your heart or repeating affirmations like, "May I be kind to myself," reinforces this practice. Over time, self-compassion becomes second nature, nurturing a healthier relationship with yourself. Finally, mindfulness invites us to embrace imperfection and uncertainty. Life rarely goes according to plan, and resisting change only amplifies suffering. By accepting each moment as it unfolds, whether joyful or challenging, we develop flexibility and adaptability. This doesn't mean resigning ourselves to fate. It means meeting life with openness and courage. When difficulties arise, remind yourself, this too shall pass. Trust that you have the strength to navigate whatever comes your way. As we conclude this chapter, remember that mindfulness isn't reserved for special occasions or designated periods of time. It's a way of being, an ongoing invitation to engage fully with life as it happens. Every breath, every step, every interaction holds the potential for mindfulness. The key is consistency, not perfection. Even small moments of presence ripple outward, transforming not just your inner world, but also your relationships and contributions to the world around you. In the next chapter, we'll explore the transformative power of compassion both toward ourselves and others, and how it serves as a foundation for lasting peace and happiness. Until then, carry this spirit of mindfulness with you. Let it guide you through the ebb and flow of daily life, reminding you that peace is always within reach. Chapter 5: The Power of Compassion, Loving Yourself and Others. Compassion is one of the most profound forces in the universe. It has the power to heal wounds, bridge divides and transform lives, including your own. At its core, compassion is about recognizing suffering, whether it's yours or someone else's, and responding with kindness, understanding, and care. It's not just a feeling, it's an action, a way of being that radiates outward and then creates ripples of positivity. In this chapter, we'll explore why compassion is so vital for personal well-being and societal harmony, how to cultivate it in your daily life, and how it serves as a cornerstone of both Buddhist teachings and modern psychology. Let's begin by distinguishing compassion from related concepts like empathy and sympathy. Empathy is the ability to feel what another person is feeling, to step into their shoes and share their emotional experience. Sympathy, on the other hand, involves acknowledging someone's pain from a distance, often with pity or sorrow. While both are valuable, compassion goes further. It combines empathy with a desire to alleviate suffering. Compassion doesn't stop at understanding or acknowledging, it moves us to act, even if that action is as simple as offering a listening ear or a kind word. Buddhism places immense importance on compassion, viewing it as essential for spiritual growth and liberation. One of the central teachings in Buddhism is the practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. This practice involves cultivating unconditional goodwill toward all beings, starting with yourself and expanding outward to include loved ones, acquaintances, strangers, and even those you find difficult. Through metta meditation, you silently repeat phrases such as, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease." Then you extend these wishes to others. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Over time, this practice softens the heart, dissolves barriers, and fosters a deep sense of interconnectedness. The benefits of compassion extend far beyond the recipient. It profoundly impacts the giver as well. Studies in neuroscience and psychology show that acts of kindness and compassion activate regions of the brain associated with pleasure, reward, and social connection. This phenomenon, known as the helper's high, boosts mood, reduces stress, and enhances overall well-being. When you offer compassion, you're not only helping others, you're nurturing your own mental and emotional health. Self-compassion is particularly important because it lays the foundation for extending compassion to others. Many of us are quick to criticize ourselves for mistakes or perceived shortcomings, yet we wouldn't dream of treating a friend so harshly. Self-compassion flips this script, inviting us to treat ourselves with the same warmth and understanding we'd offer someone we love. Dr. Kristin Neff, a leading researcher in self-compassion, identifies three key components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness means being gentle with yourself instead of harshly judging your flaws. For example, if you fail at something, rather than berating yourself, you might say, "It's okay, everyone makes mistakes. What can I learn from this?" Common humanity reminds us that suffering and imperfection are universal experiences. We're not alone in our struggles. And mindfulness helps us acknowledge painful emotions without exaggerating or suppressing them. Together, these elements create a supportive inner dialogue that promotes resilience and self-worth. To cultivate self-compassion, start by noticing when you're being self-critical. Pay attention to the language you use in your thoughts. Are you calling yourself names? Are you holding yourself to impossibly high standards? Once you identify these patterns, challenge them. Replace negative self-talk with affirmations or reminders of your inherent worth. You might place a hand over your heart, a gesture of comfort, and whisper, "I am doing my best and that is enough." Small acts of self-compassion accumulate, gradually rewiring your relationship with yourself. Once you've developed a foundation of self-compassion, it becomes easier to extend compassion to others. But what does compassionate action look like in practice? It doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes the simplest gestures carry the most weight. Holding the door open for someone, smiling at a stranger, or sending a thoughtful text can brighten someone's day. Listening deeply without interrupting, validating someone's feelings, or simply being present during tough times communicates volumes. Compassion isn't about fixing problems, it's about showing up with an open heart and letting others know they're not alone. Compassion also plays a critical role in resolving conflicts and fostering forgiveness. When disagreements arise, it's easy to become defensive or lash out. But anger and resentment only perpetuate cycles of hurt. Compassion invites us to pause, breathe, and consider the other person's perspective. Perhaps they're acting out of fear, insecurity, or pain. Recognizing this doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it provides context and opens the door to reconciliation. Forgiveness, too, is an act of compassion, not necessarily for the other person, but for yourself. Letting go of grudges frees you from carrying the weight of bitterness, allowing you to move forward with greater peace. In addition to interpersonal relationships, compassion has a profound impact on communities and society as a whole. Acts of kindness inspire others to pay it forward, creating a ripple effect of goodwill. Think about movements driven by compassion, the fight against poverty, efforts to protect the environment, campaigns for equality and justice. These initiatives remind us that compassion isn't passive, it's active and transformative. By choosing to engage with the world through a lens of care and concern, we contribute to a culture of empathy and cooperation. Of course, practicing compassion isn't always easy. There will be times when you feel drained, frustrated, or overwhelmed. That's where boundaries come in. Compassion doesn't mean sacrificing your own needs or tolerating abuse. Healthy compassion requires discernment, the ability to balance generosity with self-care. If someone consistently takes advantage of your kindness, it's okay to set limits. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's necessary for sustaining compassion in the long run. Another obstacle to compassion is bias. We naturally gravitate toward those who are similar to us or who treat us well, while distancing ourselves from those who are different or challenging. Breaking down these barriers requires intentional effort. Start by reflecting on your assumptions and prejudices. Why do certain people trigger discomfort or irritation? What stories are you telling yourself about them? Challenging these narratives expands your capacity for empathy and allows you to connect with a wider range of individuals. Mindfulness complements compassion beautifully. When we're mindful, we're better equipped to notice moments when compassion is needed, both for ourselves and others. Mindfulness slows us down, giving us space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. For instance, if a colleague snaps at you during a meeting, mindfulness helps you recognize that their behavior likely stems from stress or frustration, not malice. From this place of awareness, you can choose to respond with patience and understanding rather than defensiveness. One powerful way to deepen compassion is through gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, reminding us of the goodness in our lives and the contributions of others. Take a moment to reflect on the people who support you, the barista who makes your coffee, the teacher who educates your children, the healthcare worker who tends to the sick. Acknowledging their efforts fosters appreciation and inspires reciprocal kindness. Even small expressions of thanks, a smile, a nod, or a sincere thank you can make someone's day brighter. Compassion also aligns closely with forgiveness, which we touched on earlier. Holding on to anger or resentment harms us more than anyone else. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions, it means releasing the grip those actions have on your heart. This process begins with compassion for the person who hurt you and for yourself. Understanding that everyone makes mistakes, including you, softens the edges of judgment and creates room for healing. Finally, compassion is a gateway to joy. When we prioritize kindness and connection, we tap into a deeper sense of fulfillment than material success or external validation can provide. Research shows that people who lead compassionate lives report higher levels of happiness, satisfaction, and purpose. They feel more connected to others and experience a greater sense of meaning. This isn't surprising. After all, humans are wired for connection. Compassion satisfies this innate need, reminding us that we're part of something larger than ourselves. As we wrap up this chapter, I want to leave you with a simple invitation. Choose one compassionate action today. It could be as small as complimenting a coworker, checking in on a friend, or simply offering yourself some grace. Notice how it feels, not just for the recipient, but for you as well. Over time, these acts of kindness compound, creating a life rich with love, connection, and peace. In the next chapter, we'll delve into strategies for dealing with negative thoughts and emotions, exploring how mindfulness and compassion can help you navigate life's inevitable challenges with greater ease. Until then, remember this: compassion is a gift you give to the world and to yourself. Chapter 6. Dealing with negative thoughts and emotions. Negative thoughts and emotions are an inevitable part of life. No matter how mindful or compassionate we strive to be, there will always be moments when doubt, fear, anger, or sadness arise. These experiences aren't inherently bad. They're natural responses to the challenges and uncertainties of existence. However, when left unchecked, they can spiral into patterns that drain our energy, cloud our judgment, and diminish our well-being. In this chapter, we'll explore practical strategies for dealing with negative thoughts and emotions, drawing on mindfulness, self-awareness, and Buddhist teachings to help you navigate these challenging states with greater wisdom and resilience. Let's start by reframing how we think about negativity. Often we view negative emotions as enemies, things to suppress, avoid, or escape from. But what if they were messengers instead? What if every uncomfortable feeling carried valuable information about your needs, values, or boundaries? For example, anger might signal that something important to you has been violated. Sadness could indicate grief over a loss or longing for connection. Anxiety may point to underlying fears or uncertainties that need addressing. By shifting our perspective, we transform negativity from a threat into an opportunity for growth and insight. Mindfulness is one of the most effective tools for working with negative thoughts and emotions. At its core, mindfulness teaches us to observe without judgment. When a difficult emotion arises, a surge of frustration, a wave of despair, you don't have to push it away or dwell on it. Instead, acknowledge its presence with curiosity. Ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? Is it tightness in my chest, heaviness in my stomach, or tension in my jaw? Locating sensations grounds you in the present moment and prevents you from getting lost in the story behind the emotion. Once you've identified the physical manifestation, try labeling the emotion. Simply naming it, this is anger, this is sadness, this is fear, creates distance between you and the experience. It reminds you that you are not your emotions, they are temporary visitors passing through. Labeling also activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning and decision-making, which helps regulate intense feelings. Over time, this practice reduces reactivity, giving you more control over your responses. Another powerful technique is the RAIN method, developed by meditation teacher Tara Brach. RAIN stands for recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. Here's how it works. Recognize. Become aware of what's happening inside you. Notice the thought or emotion without trying to change it. Allow. Let it be. Resist the urge to resist. Allowing doesn't mean liking or approving. It means making space for the experience to exist without judgment. Investigate, explore the sensation with kindness. What triggered it? How does it manifest in your body? What unmet need might it reflect? Nurture. Offer yourself compassion. Place a hand on your heart. Repeat soothing words. Or remind yourself that discomfort is human and temporary. RAIN provides a structured yet flexible framework for navigating negativity, helping you process emotions constructively rather than letting them fester. It's worth noting that suppressing emotions isn't the answer either. Bottling up feelings leads to emotional buildup, which eventually spills out in unhealthy ways, through outbursts, chronic stress, or even physical illness. On the flip side, endlessly ruminating on negativity keeps you stuck in suffering. The goal is balance, acknowledging emotions without amplifying them. This middle path allows you to honor your inner world while staying grounded in the present. Buddhist teachings offer profound insights into the nature of negative thoughts and emotions. One key concept is impermanence, the understanding that everything changes, including your internal state. Just as clouds drift across the sky, emotions come and go. Clinging to pleasant ones or resisting unpleasant ones only prolongs suffering. Instead, trust that whatever you're feeling right now won't last forever. Even the heaviest emotions lighten with time and attention. Another teaching is non-attachment. Non-attachment doesn't mean indifference. It means relating to experiences without identifying with them. For instance, if you notice a critical voice in your head saying, "You're not good enough," recognize it as just a thought, not an absolute truth. Thoughts are mental events, not facts. They arise based on conditioning, past experiences, and automatic habits. By observing them objectively, you weaken their power over you. Journaling is another valuable tool for processing negativity. Writing allows you to externalize thoughts and emotions, creating clarity and perspective. When you're overwhelmed, grab a pen and paper and let your stream of consciousness flow onto the page. Don't censor yourself. Write freely, honestly, and uncritically. Often patterns emerge that reveal deeper truths about your triggers and coping mechanisms. Journaling also serves as a safe outlet for releasing pent-up feelings, reducing their intensity. Breathwork complements mindfulness beautifully in managing negativity. When emotions run high, your breath often becomes shallow and erratic. Consciously slowing and deepening your breathing sends signals to your nervous system to calm down. Try this simple exercise. Inhale deeply for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, and pause for 2 before repeating. Focus on the sensation of air moving in and out of your body. With each cycle, imagine tension melting away. Breathing techniques anchor you in the present moment, providing stability amidst chaos. Cognitive restructuring is another approach rooted in psychology. It involves examining distorted thinking patterns, such as catastrophizing, "This is the worst thing ever," or black and white thinking, "If I'm not perfect, I'm a failure," and replacing them with balanced alternatives. For example, instead of thinking, "I'll never get this right," you might say, "I'm struggling right now, but I'm learning and improving." Reframing thoughts in this way reduces cognitive distortions and fosters a healthier mindset. Physical activity is also a potent antidote to negativity. Exercise releases endorphins, which boost mood and reduce stress. Whether it's yoga, running, dancing, or simply stretching, moving your body helps release trapped energy and clears mental fog. Pay attention to how different forms of movement affect your emotional state. Find activities that resonate with you and incorporate them regularly into your routine. Creative expression offers another avenue for channeling negativity into something constructive. Painting, writing poetry, playing music, or gardening allows you to process emotions symbolically rather than directly. Creativity taps into parts of the brain associated with imagination and problem solving, offering fresh perspectives on old struggles. Plus, the act of creation itself generates a sense of accomplishment and joy. When negativity feels overwhelming, leaning on support systems can make a big difference. Reach out to trusted friends, family members, or professionals who can listen without judgment. Sometimes, simply voicing your feelings aloud lightens their weight. If talking isn't your style, consider joining a group or community centered around shared interests or values. Connection reminds us that we're not alone, that others share similar struggles and triumphs. Self-care plays a crucial role in managing negativity as well. Neglecting basic needs like sleep, nutrition, and hydration exacerbates emotional volatility. Prioritize restorative practices that nourish your body and mind. Take breaks when needed, set boundaries to protect your energy, and engage in activities that bring you comfort and delight. Remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's essential for maintaining equilibrium during tough times. Finally, cultivating gratitude and perspective shifts your focus from lack to abundance. When negativity dominates, it's easy to lose sight of the good in your life. Make a habit of reflecting on things you're grateful for, no matter how small. Did you enjoy a delicious meal today? Did someone smile at you unexpectedly? Gratitude interrupts the cycle of negativity bias, reminding you that life contains beauty alongside hardship. As we conclude this chapter, keep in mind that dealing with negative thoughts and emotions, it is a lifelong practice. There's no quick fix or final destination, only ongoing effort and growth. Be patient with yourself. Progress may feel slow at times, but every step counts. The more you engage with these tools and techniques, the stronger your capacity for resilience becomes. In the next chapter, we'll explore building resilience through acceptance, focusing on how embracing life's challenges can lead to profound transformation. Until then, remember this: negativity isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. Approach it with curiosity and compassion, and it will guide you toward greater wisdom and peace. Chapter 7: Building Resilience Through Acceptance. Resilience is often misunderstood as toughness or stoicism, the ability to endure hardship without flinching. But true resilience isn't about suppressing pain or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about facing life's challenges with openness, flexibility, and grace. At the heart of resilience lies acceptance, the willingness to meet reality as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. In this chapter, we'll explore why acceptance is so powerful, how it fosters resilience, and practical ways to cultivate it in your daily life. By embracing acceptance, you can navigate difficulties with greater ease and emerge stronger on the other side. Let's begin by acknowledging that life is inherently unpredictable. No matter how carefully we plan or prepare, unexpected events will arise: illness, loss, failure, conflict. These moments can feel destabilizing, even devastating. Our natural instinct is often to resist them, clinging to the hope that things will return to normal or trying to control outcomes beyond our reach. While resistance is understandable, it rarely alleviates suffering. Instead, it locks us into cycles of frustration, denial, and exhaustion. Acceptance, on the other hand, invites us to soften our grip and flow with life's inevitable changes. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or passivity. It doesn't imply giving up on goals or ceasing to take action. Rather, it means acknowledging what's happening right now without judgment. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed by stress, accepting that emotion allows you to address it constructively instead of pushing it away or spiraling into despair. Acceptance creates space for clarity, enabling you to respond wisely rather than react impulsively. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is the concept of dukkha, which we touched on earlier. Dukkha refers to the pervasive dissatisfaction and unease that characterize much of human experience. The Buddha taught that dukkha arises from attachment to specific outcomes, identities, or beliefs, and that liberation comes from letting go of this attachment. This doesn't mean rejecting life or detaching emotionally. It means releasing our insistence that reality conform to our expectations. When we stop fighting against what is, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Mindfulness is a cornerstone of acceptance because it trains us to observe reality as it unfolds, moment by moment. Through mindfulness, we learn to notice thoughts, emotions, and sensations without immediately reacting to them. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and start feeling irritated, mindfulness helps you recognize that irritation as a passing state, not an unchangeable fact. You might still feel frustrated, but you're no longer consumed by it. This subtle shift empowers you to choose how to proceed, with patience, humor, or simply breathing deeply until the situation resolves itself. Another key aspect of acceptance is embracing imperfection in ourselves, others, and the world around us. Perfectionism is a common obstacle to resilience because it sets unrealistic standards and amplifies disappointment when those standards aren't met. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean lowering your aspirations. It means recognizing that mistakes and setbacks are part of the journey. When you stumble, instead of berating yourself, offer compassion and encouragement. Remind yourself, I'm learning. Growth takes time. This mindset fosters perseverance, allowing you to bounce back from failures more quickly and effectively. Acceptance also applies to relationships. Conflicts and misunderstandings are inevitable in any close connection, whether it's with family, friends, or colleagues. Often our initial reaction is to defend ourselves, assign blame, or withdraw emotionally. While these responses may provide temporary relief, they rarely resolve underlying issues. Acceptance encourages us to approach conflicts with curiosity and humility. Instead of focusing solely on who's right or wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I contribute to healing and understanding? By accepting both your role in the dynamic and the humanity of the other person, you create opportunities for reconciliation and deeper connection. Life transitions, whether joyful or challenging, are another area where acceptance proves invaluable. Moving to a new city, starting a job, ending a relationship, or losing a loved one all require adapting to unfamiliar circumstances. During such times, it's easy to cling to the past or idealize the future, wishing things were different. But resisting change only prolongs adjustment and intensifies grief. Acceptance invites us to fully inhabit the present moment, honoring its uniqueness and complexity. For example, if you've recently experienced a loss, allow yourself to grieve without rushing to move on. Grief is a natural response to love and connection, and honoring it facilitates healing over time. Practicing acceptance begins with awareness. Notice when you're resisting reality, perhaps by complaining, ruminating, or avoiding difficult tasks, and gently redirect your attention to the present. Ask yourself, what am I resisting right now? Why does this situation bother me? What would happen if I accepted it as it is? These questions help illuminate unconscious patterns and open the door to transformation. Gratitude is a powerful ally in cultivating acceptance. Even in the midst of hardship, there are always aspects of life worth appreciating: a warm bed, a kind word, a beautiful sunset. Focusing on these positives shifts your perspective, reminding you that life contains both light and shadow. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it softens its edges, making it easier to bear. Another way to build resilience through acceptance is by reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. Every difficulty carries lessons, though they may not be immediately apparent. For example, losing a job might seem catastrophic at first, but it could lead to discovering a new passion or career path. A breakup might feel unbearable, yet it can pave the way for self-discovery and healthier relationships in the future. Reframing requires trust, not necessarily in specific outcomes, but in your ability to adapt and thrive, regardless of circumstances. Self-compassion is essential for sustaining acceptance during tough times. When faced with setbacks, it's tempting to criticize ourselves harshly, believing that self-criticism will motivate improvement. However, research shows that self-compassion enhances motivation, creativity, and problem-solving skills far more effectively than self-criticism. Treat yourself with kindness, especially when you're struggling. Remind yourself, this is hard and I'm doing my best. Placing a hand over your heart or repeating affirmations like, "May I be gentle with myself," reinforces this practice. Boundaries play a crucial role in acceptance as well. While accepting reality involves letting go of resistance, it doesn't mean tolerating harmful behaviors or environments. Healthy boundaries protect your well-being while fostering mutual respect. If someone consistently disrespects you, accepting their limitations doesn't mean excusing their actions. It means recognizing that you deserve better and taking steps to safeguard your peace. Setting boundaries with compassion ensures that acceptance remains empowering rather than enabling. Nature offers profound lessons in acceptance and resilience. Consider a tree bending in the wind or a river carving its course through rock. These elements don't resist change, they adapt, finding strength in flexibility. Similarly, humans grow stronger by flowing with life's currents rather than fighting against them. Spend time in nature regularly, observing its rhythms and cycles. Let it remind you that change is constant and that beauty often emerges from struggle. Breathwork complements acceptance beautifully. When faced with uncertainty or discomfort, focus on your breath. Feel it moving in and out of your body, steady and reliable. Anchoring yourself in the breath calms the nervous system and grounds you in the present moment. Over time, this practice builds emotional stability, helping you face adversity with greater equanimity. Finally, acceptance extends to death, the ultimate expression of impermanence. Contemplating mortality may seem morbid, but it's actually liberating. Recognizing that life is finite inspires us to live fully and authentically. It reminds us to cherish each moment, prioritize meaningful connections, and let go of trivial concerns. Death awareness practices common in Buddhist traditions encourage us to reflect on the transient nature of existence, deepening our appreciation for life's preciousness. As we wrap up this chapter, remember that acceptance isn't a destination, it's a practice. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is your commitment to showing up again and again with openness and courage. Each act of acceptance strengthens your resilience, preparing you to face whatever comes next with greater wisdom and grace. In the next chapter, we'll explore finding joy in simplicity, uncovering how minimalism and mindful living can enrich your experience of life. Until then, carry this spirit of acceptance with you. Let it guide you through challenges, reminding you that peace is found not in controlling life, but in embracing it exactly as it is. Chapter 8. Finding joy in simplicity. In a world obsessed with more possessions, more achievements, more distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We chase external markers of success, believing they'll bring happiness, only to find ourselves feeling empty or overwhelmed. Yet, some of life's most profound joys are found not in abundance but in simplicity. In this chapter, we'll explore how embracing simplicity can transform your relationship with yourself, others, and the world around you. By stripping away excess and focusing on what nourishes your spirit, you create space for deeper connection, fulfillment, and peace. Let's start by redefining what simplicity means. It's not about living an ascetic life, devoid of comforts or pleasures, nor is it about rejecting modern conveniences or societal norms. Simplicity is about intentionality, the conscious choice to prioritize what adds value to your life and let go of what doesn't. It's about aligning your actions with your values, creating harmony between your inner and outer worlds. This alignment fosters clarity, reduces stress, and opens the door to lasting joy. One of the most compelling reasons to embrace simplicity is its impact on mental well-being. Clutter, whether physical, digital, or emotional, weighs heavily on our minds. A cluttered home makes it harder to relax. An overflowing inbox creates a sense of perpetual urgency. Emotional baggage keeps us tethered to the past, preventing us from fully engaging with the present. Simplifying these areas lightens the load, freeing up energy for creativity, connection, and self-care. Minimalism, often associated with simplicity, offers practical tools for decluttering your life. At its core, minimalism is about removing distractions so you can focus on what truly matters. Start small, tackle one drawer, one shelf, or one corner of your home. As you sort through items, ask yourself, does this bring me joy? Is it useful? Does it reflect who I am or aspire to be? Be honest. If something no longer serves you, thank it for its role in your life and let it go. Over time, this process extends beyond possessions to habits, commitments, and relationships. You begin to curate your life intentionally, surrounding yourself only with what supports your growth and happiness. Simplicity also invites us to slow down, a radical act in today's fast-paced world. Slowing down allows us to savor moments that might otherwise pass unnoticed. Think about the last time you enjoyed a meal without distractions. Did you notice the flavors, aromas, and textures? Or were you scrolling through your phone, barely tasting what was in front of you? When you eat mindfully, even a simple bowl of soup becomes a feast for the senses. The same principle applies to other activities. Whether you're walking, reading, or spending time with loved ones, slowing down deepens your experience, making it richer and more meaningful. Nature provides endless inspiration for simplicity. Spend time outdoors, observing the elegance of natural systems. Trees don't strive to grow faster. Rivers don't rush to reach the ocean. They unfold at their own pace, trusting the process. Humans, too, thrive when we align with the natural rhythms rather than forcing artificial ones. Incorporate nature into your daily routine. Take a walk in the park, tend to houseplants, or simply sit outside and breathe fresh air. These practices reconnect you with the earth and remind you of life's inherent beauty and balance. Another aspect of simplicity is learning to say no. Many of us overcommit out of fear of missing out or wanting to please others. But saying yes to everything dilutes your attention and leaves little room for what truly matters. Practice setting boundaries with kindness, but firmness. For example, if someone invites you to an event you don't feel excited about, respond honestly. Thank you for thinking of me, but I need to prioritize rest right now. Saying no to non-essential activities creates space for yes to meaningful work, quality time with loved ones, and moments of solitude. Digital minimalism is increasingly important in our hyper-connected age. Technology has revolutionized communication and access to information, but it's also contributed to information overload, comparison culture, and constant distraction. To simplify your digital life, establish clear guidelines for screen use. Designate tech-free zones or times, for instance, no phones during meals or before bed. Unsubscribe from emails you never read. Unfollow social media accounts that drain your energy, and limit time spent consuming news or entertainment. These steps reduce noise, allowing you to engage more deeply with the real world. Mindfulness complements simplicity beautifully because both emphasize presence and awareness. When you live simply, you naturally become more attuned to the present moment. Instead of chasing future goals or dwelling on past regrets, you immerse yourself in the here and now. This shift cultivates gratitude as you begin to appreciate the ordinary wonders of everyday life. A warm cup of tea, the sound of rain tapping against the window, the laughter of a child. Gratitude amplifies joy, transforming fleeting pleasures into enduring sources of contentment. Simplicity also has ethical dimensions. By consuming less, you reduce your environmental footprint, contributing to a healthier planet. Fast fashion, excessive packaging, and wasteful habits harm ecosystems and exploit vulnerable communities. Choosing sustainable alternatives, buying second-hand, supporting local artisans, avoiding single-use plastics, aligns your lifestyle with compassion and responsibility. Living simply isn't just good for you, it's good for the world. Financial simplicity deserves special attention because money is a major source of stress for many people. Simplifying your finances starts with understanding your values and priorities. What do you truly need to live comfortably? What expenses align with your goals? Eliminate unnecessary subscriptions, automate savings, and create a budget that reflects your intentions. Financial freedom isn't about having unlimited resources, it's about using what you have wisely, ensuring that your money supports your vision of a fulfilling life. Creative expression flourishes in simplicity. When you strip away distractions, you tap into your innate creativity. Try journaling, drawing, cooking, or crafting without worrying about perfection. Focus on the process rather than the outcome. Creativity, in its purest form, is playful and exploratory, inviting you to experiment and discover new possibilities. These moments of flow are deeply satisfying, reminding you of your capacity for innovation and joy. Relationships benefit immensely from simplicity as well. Modern life often pulls us in multiple directions, leaving little time for meaningful connections. Simplify your social circle by investing in relationships that nurture and inspire you. Let go of toxic dynamics that drain your energy or compromise your values. Prioritize quality over quantity, fostering deep bonds built on trust, respect, and mutual support. Self-care is another cornerstone of simplicity. Rather than chasing elaborate routines or trendy wellness products, focus on basic needs: sleep, nutrition, movement, and rest. Listen to your body, honoring its signals without judgment. Sometimes self-care looks like taking a long bath. Other times it's simply lying down for 5 minutes to recharge. Whatever form it takes, prioritize activities that replenish your energy and restore your sense of equilibrium. Finally, simplicity teaches us to embrace impermanence. Nothing lasts forever, not possessions, relationships, or even our own lives. Recognizing this truth helps us let go of attachment and live more fully in the present. When you release the need to control outcomes, you open yourself to serendipity and wonder. Each moment becomes precious, infused with the knowledge that it won't come again. As we conclude this chapter, remember that simplicity isn't a destination, it's a practice. It requires consistent effort and reflection. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is your intention to live authentically, prioritizing what brings meaning and joy to your life. Over time, simplicity becomes second nature, guiding you toward greater peace and fulfillment. In the next chapter, we'll explore creating a personal practice that works for you, offering practical tips for integrating mindfulness, meditation, and compassion into your daily routine. Until then, carry this spirit of simplicity with you. Let it remind you that true happiness lies not in accumulating more, but in cherishing less. Chapter 9, creating a personal practice that works for you. Creating a personal practice is like planting a garden. It requires patience, care, and consistency to grow into something nourishing and sustainable. Your practice isn't about following rigid rules or achieving perfection. It's about designing a routine that supports your unique needs, values, and goals. Whether you're drawn to meditation, mindfulness, compassion, or simplicity, the key is finding what resonates with you and weaving it seamlessly into your daily life. In this chapter, we'll explore how to build a practice that feels authentic, adaptable, and fulfilling, one that evolves alongside you as you navigate life's twists and turns. Let's begin by addressing a common misconception. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to personal growth. What works for someone else may not work for you, and that's okay. The beauty of creating your own practice lies in its flexibility. It's an opportunity to experiment, reflect, and refine until you find what truly serves you. Think of it as a lifelong journey rather than a final destination. Along the way, you'll encounter challenges, breakthroughs, and moments of profound insight, all of which contribute to your growth. The first step in building a personal practice is clarifying your intentions. Why do you want to incorporate mindfulness, meditation, or compassion into your life? Are you seeking greater peace, improved focus, emotional resilience, or deeper connection? Identifying your motivations provides direction and purpose, helping you stay committed when motivation wanes. Write down your reasons, whether they're practical, spiritual, or somewhere in between, and revisit them whenever you need encouragement. Once you've defined your intentions, start small. Many people abandon practices prematurely because they bite off more than they can chew. Instead of aiming for hour-long meditation sessions or drastic lifestyle changes, begin with manageable steps. For example, commit to 5 minutes of mindful breathing each morning or take 3 deep breaths before meals. These tiny actions accumulate over time, laying the foundation for lasting habits. Research shows that consistency matters more than duration. Doing something small every day is far more effective than sporadic bursts of effort. Another important principle is customization. While traditional methods like seated meditation or loving-kindness exercises are valuable, they don't have to be the only tools in your toolkit. Explore different techniques to discover what aligns with your personality and preferences. If sitting still feels uncomfortable, try walking meditation or yoga. If formal meditation feels intimidating, incorporate mindfulness into everyday activities, washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or commuting. The goal isn't to adhere strictly to prescribed forms, but to cultivate presence in whatever way feels natural to you. Journaling is a powerful complement to any personal practice. Writing allows you to process thoughts, track progress, and gain clarity on your experiences. Keep a dedicated journal where you record reflections, insights, and challenges related to your practice. For instance, after meditating, jot down how you felt before, during, and afterward. Did you notice shifts in your mood or perspective? Over time, these entries reveal patterns and progress, reinforcing your commitment to growth. Journaling also serves as a safe space to express emotions, release tension, and celebrate victories, no matter how small. Accountability plays a crucial role in sustaining a practice. Without structure or support, it's easy to lose momentum. Find ways to hold yourself accountable, whether through reminders, routines, or community. Set specific times for your practice and treat them as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Use alarms, calendars, or apps to establish cues that trigger action. If possible, involve others. Join a meditation group, partner with a friend, or share your journey online. Accountability fosters discipline while creating opportunities for shared learning and encouragement. Adaptability is another hallmark of a successful personal practice. Life is unpredictable and rigid routines often crumble under pressure. Rather than abandoning your practice altogether during busy or stressful periods, adapt it to fit your circumstances. For example, if you're traveling and can't meditate in your usual spot, find a quiet corner in your hotel room or practice outdoors. If time is limited, condense your session into a few mindful breaths or a brief body scan. Flexibility ensures that your practice remains accessible even when life gets hectic. Mindfulness doesn't have to be confined to structured practices. It can infuse every aspect of your day. Cultivate awareness during mundane tasks by focusing on sensory details. Feel the warmth of water on your hands while washing dishes. Notice the rhythm of your steps while walking, or savor the aroma of coffee as you sip it. These moments of presence anchor you in the here and now, breaking the cycle of autopilot and enriching your experience of life. Over time, mindfulness becomes less of a deliberate exercise and more of a default mode of being. Self-compassion is essential for maintaining a healthy relationship with your practice. There will be days when you miss sessions, feel distracted, or struggle to concentrate. Instead of berating yourself, offer kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that imperfection is part of the process. Every time you return to your practice, even after setbacks, you strengthen your resolve and deepen your commitment. Self-compassion transforms frustration into fuel, empowering you to persevere with grace. Incorporating rituals into your practice enhances its impact. Rituals provide structure and meaning, signaling transitions between states of mind. For example, lighting a candle before meditation creates a sacred atmosphere, inviting calm and focus. Brewing tea and sipping it slowly can serve as a mindful pause amidst a hectic schedule. Rituals don't need to be elaborate, they simply need to resonate with you. Choose actions that evoke a sense of reverence or joy, making your practice feel special and intentional. Technology can be both a hindrance and a helper in cultivating a personal practice. On one hand, excessive screen time distracts from presence and connection. On the other hand, apps, podcasts, and guided recordings offer valuable resources for learning and inspiration. Use technology mindfully, leveraging tools that enhance your practice without overwhelming you. For instance, download a meditation app that offers short guided sessions or listen to calming music during yoga. Just be sure to set boundaries, avoiding endless scrolling or multitasking during practice time. Physical environment also influences your practice. Create a dedicated space where you feel comfortable and inspired. This could be a cozy corner of your home, a serene spot in nature, or even a quiet cafe. Surround yourself with items that evoke tranquility, plants, candles, cushions, or meaningful objects. Decluttering and organizing this space reinforces simplicity and intentionality, setting the stage for focused engagement. If circumstances prevent you from having a fixed location, embrace portability. Carry a travel-size kit with essentials like a journal, mala beads, or essential oils to recreate your practice anywhere. Gratitude amplifies the benefits of your practice by shifting your focus from lack to abundance. At the end of each day, reflect on moments that brought you joy, peace, or fulfillment. These could be big events, a meaningful conversation, or small pleasures, a warm breeze, a kind gesture. Gratitude reminds you of life's blessings, fostering optimism and resilience. Incorporate gratitude into your practice by writing 3 things you're thankful for each evening, or silently acknowledging them during meditation. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to notice positivity, enhancing overall well-being. Challenges are inevitable in any practice, but they're also opportunities for growth. When difficulties arise, restlessness, boredom, doubt, approach them with curiosity rather than resistance. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why does this challenge bother me? What can I learn from it? Viewing obstacles as teachers reframes adversity as a source of wisdom, strengthening your capacity to navigate future challenges. Finally, remember that your practice is uniquely yours. It reflects who you are, where you've been, and where you're headed. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Focus on what feels right for you. Celebrate milestones, honor setbacks, and trust the process. Growth unfolds gradually, often in ways you can't predict or measure. By staying true to your intentions and embracing the ebb and flow of life, you create a practice that sustains and uplifts you. As we wrap up this chapter, I invite you to reflect on what you've learned so far. What aspects of mindfulness, meditation, compassion, and simplicity resonate most deeply with you? How can you integrate these elements into your daily life in a way that feels authentic and sustainable? Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's presence. Show up consistently with openness and curiosity, and let your practice evolve organically. In the next chapter, we'll explore living a peaceful life, synthesizing everything we've discussed into actionable strategies for cultivating lasting harmony and fulfillment. Until then, continue nurturing your personal practice with patience and kindness. Let it remind you that peace begins within and radiates outward, touching every corner of your existence. Chapter 10: Living a Peaceful Life. Living a peaceful life isn't about escaping challenges or achieving some unattainable state of constant bliss. It's about cultivating inner resilience, clarity, and compassion so you can navigate life's ups and downs with grace. A peaceful life doesn't mean the absence of difficulty. It means facing difficulties with equanimity, knowing that storms will pass and calm will return. In this final chapter, we'll bring together everything we've explored throughout this journey: mindfulness, meditation, compassion, acceptance, simplicity, and weave them into a cohesive framework for living fully and peacefully. By embracing these principles, you create a foundation for lasting harmony and fulfillment. Let's begin by acknowledging that peace is an inside job. External circumstances may influence your mood temporarily, but true peace arises from within. No amount of wealth, recognition, or external validation can substitute for the deep sense of contentment that comes from aligning your actions with your values. This alignment requires self-awareness, the ability to observe your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. When you understand yourself deeply, you make choices that reflect who you are and what matters most to you. These choices, in turn, foster authenticity and integrity, which are cornerstones of a peaceful life. Mindfulness serves as the bedrock of inner peace. By staying present, you break free from the tyranny of past regrets and future anxieties. You learn to inhabit each moment fully, savoring its richness rather than rushing through it. Mindfulness transforms ordinary experiences into extraordinary ones. A quiet morning becomes sacred, a conversation becomes profound, a walk becomes meditative. Over time, mindfulness rewires your brain, reducing stress, enhancing focus, and increasing emotional regulation. The more you practice being present, the easier it becomes to access peace, even amidst chaos. Meditation amplifies the benefits of mindfulness by training your mind to rest in stillness. Through regular meditation, you develop the capacity to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them. This detachment creates space between stimulus and response, allowing you to choose how to react rather than acting impulsively. Meditation also fosters self-compassion, reminding you that you're worthy of love and care just as you are. Whether you meditate for 5 minutes or 30, every session strengthens your mental and emotional muscles, making it easier to face life's inevitable challenges with calm and clarity. Compassion extends peace outward, creating ripples that touch everyone around you. When you treat yourself and others with kindness, understanding, and empathy, you contribute to a culture of connection and cooperation. Compassionate actions don't need to be grand. They can be as simple as offering a listening ear, expressing gratitude, or performing small acts of service. Each gesture reinforces the interconnectedness of all beings, reminding you that your well-being is tied to the well-being of others. Compassion softens the heart, dissolving barriers and fostering a sense of belonging. Acceptance is another pillar of a peaceful life. Life is inherently unpredictable, filled with joys and sorrows, triumphs and setbacks. Resistance to reality only amplifies suffering, while acceptance opens the door to flow and adaptability. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation, it means meeting life as it is, trusting that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. When you accept impermanence, the ever-changing nature of existence, you release attachment to specific outcomes and embrace the beauty of the present moment. This mindset fosters resilience, enabling you to weather storms with greater ease. Simplicity complements acceptance by stripping away distractions and focusing on what truly matters. In a world obsessed with accumulation, simplicity invites you to prioritize depth over breadth, quality over quantity. By decluttering your physical space, digital life, and commitments, you create room for meaningful experiences and relationships. Simplicity reduces overwhelm, enhances clarity, and amplifies joy. It reminds you that happiness isn't found in external possessions, but in the richness of presence and connection. Gratitude ties all these elements together, reinforcing a positive feedback loop. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from lack to abundance, noticing the countless blessings already present in your life. Gratitude fosters optimism, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the ordinary wonders of existence. It transforms challenges into opportunities for growth and hardship into lessons. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine, whether through journaling, reflection, or verbal expressions, cultivates a mindset of abundance which naturally leads to greater peace. Nature offers endless inspiration for living peacefully. Spending time outdoors reconnects you with the rhythms of the earth, grounding you in something larger than yourself. Observing the cycles of seasons, tides, and wildlife reminds you of life's impermanence and beauty. Nature teaches patience, humility, and surrender, all qualities essential for inner peace. Whether you take a hike in the woods, sit by a river, or simply gaze at the stars, immersing yourself in the natural world restores balance and perspective. Self-care is non-negotiable for sustaining peace. Taking care of your body, mind, and spirit ensures that you have the energy and resilience needed to navigate life's demands. Prioritize sleep, nourish your body with wholesome foods, move regularly to release tension, and engage in activities that replenish your soul. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary for maintaining equilibrium and showing up fully for yourself and others. Treat yourself with the same compassion and attention you'd offer a dear friend. Boundaries are equally important for preserving peace. Healthy boundaries protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being, ensuring that you're not depleted by toxic dynamics or excessive demands. Setting boundaries requires courage and clarity. Communicate your needs assertively yet kindly and honor them consistently. Boundaries empower you to say yes to what enriches your life and no to what drains it. They reinforce self-respect and mutual respect, fostering healthier relationships and a greater sense of control. Creativity nurtures peace by providing an outlet for self-expression and exploration. Engaging in creative activities, writing, painting, cooking, gardening, taps into your innate curiosity and playfulness. Creativity is inherently meditative, drawing you into the flow state where worries fade and joy emerges. Don't worry about producing masterpieces, focus on the process itself. Allow creativity to be a source of delight and discovery, reminding you of your capacity for innovation and wonder. Connection sustains peace by reminding you that you're not alone. Humans are wired for community, and meaningful relationships provide support, encouragement, and joy. Invest in friendships and partnerships that uplift and inspire you. Share vulnerably, listen deeply, and celebrate each other's successes. Connection amplifies individual efforts, creating a web of mutual care and understanding. Even brief interactions, a smile exchanged with a stranger, a kind word offered to a colleague, contribute to a collective sense of peace. Finally, remember that living a peaceful life is a dynamic process. It's not a fixed state, but a continuous unfolding. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is your commitment to showing up with openness and intentionality. Trust the journey, embracing both its light and shadow. Each step forward builds momentum, guiding you toward greater harmony and fulfillment. As we conclude this chapter and our journey together, I want to leave you with a heartfelt reminder. Peace begins within. It's cultivated through consistent, compassionate effort. Every breath, every mindful moment, every act of kindness contributes to a life rich with meaning and tranquility. Carry these practices with you, not as obligations, but as gifts to yourself and the world. Let them guide you through the ebb and flow of life, anchoring you in the truth that peace is always accessible, no matter the circumstances. Thank you for spending this time with me and for embarking on this journey toward peace, clarity, and well-being. Together we've explored timeless wisdom from Buddhism, practical techniques for meditation and mindfulness, and strategies for embracing simplicity, compassion, and acceptance. These tools aren't just abstract concepts, they're actionable steps you can integrate into your daily life to create a foundation for lasting harmony. As we bring this video to a close, I want to remind you that the path to peace isn't about perfection. It's not about achieving some idealized version of yourself or erasing all challenges from your life. Instead, it's about showing up moment by moment with curiosity, kindness, and courage. It's about trusting yourself to navigate difficulties with resilience and celebrating the small victories along the way. Remember, mindfulness isn't confined to formal practices like meditation. It's a way of being. You can bring awareness to every aspect of your day, whether you're eating, walking, working, or resting. Each moment offers an opportunity to connect with the present and rediscover the richness of life. Don't wait for the perfect conditions to begin. Start where you are with what you have and build from there. Compassion is another cornerstone of a peaceful life. Not just compassion for others, but also for yourself. Treat yourself with the same gentleness and understanding you'd offer a loved one. When setbacks occur, and they will, meet them with patience rather than judgment. Growth takes time, and every step forward counts. Simplicity too has a profound role to play. In a world that often feels overwhelming, simplifying your surroundings, routines, and commitments create space for what truly matters. Let go of what no longer serves you and make room for joy, connection, and presence. Simplicity isn't deprivation, it's liberation. Finally, remember that you're not alone on this path. We're all navigating the complexities of life together, each in our own unique way. Reach out when you need support and offer support when others need it. Connection amplifies individual efforts, creating a ripple effect of positivity and care. If you found value in this video, I'd be deeply grateful if you'd consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who might benefit. Your support helps spread these teachings to more people seeking peace and fulfillment. And don't forget to check out the resources linked below for guided meditations, journal prompts, and further reading to deepen your practice. Before we part ways, take a deep breath, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Feel yourself grounded in this present moment. Carry this sense of calm with you as you move through your day, knowing that peace is always within reach. Until next time, take care of yourself and may you walk gently through this beautiful, imperfect world. Namaste. Before we part ways, take a deep breath, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Feel yourself grounded in this present moment. Carry this sense of calm with you as you move through your day, knowing that peace is always within reach. Until next time, take care of yourself, and may you walk gently through this beautiful, imperfect world. Namaste.